Hello and welcome to Somgalaxy podcast. My name is Abdisalam, and in today's episode I want to share with you one of the most effective and enjoyable ways to improve your English, by reading books and watching English movies. Many learners struggle with English because they believe it is only about memorizing grammar rules and vocabulary lists. Of course, grammar and vocabulary are important, but the real secret to mastering English is exposure. The more you listen to English and the more you read English, the faster your brain adapts to the rhythm, the sound, and the natural structure of the language. Let's start with reading. Reading is one of the most powerful tools to improve your English. Why? Because when you read, you are not only learning new words, but also seeing how those words are used in context. You notice sentence structures, idioms, and expressions. You learn how ideas are connected and how arguments are built. Reading also helps you develop a natural sense of grammar. Instead of memorizing endless rules, you begin to recognize patterns. For example, you may notice that after certain verbs we often add to before another verb, or that adjectives usually appear before nouns. These patterns become automatic with regular reading. Now, you might be thinking, but English books are too difficult for me. That's a very common worry. The truth is, you don't need to start with Shakespeare or advanced academic books. You can begin with simple novels, short stories, or even children's books. Many advanced learners recommend children's books because they use simple vocabulary and clear structures, yet still tell meaningful stories. Reading is also personal. You can choose topics you actually enjoy. If you love adventure, read adventure stories. If you enjoy mystery, try detective novels. If you like real-life experiences, go for biographies or non-fiction. The key is to stay motivated, and motivation comes from enjoyment. When it comes to reading, the method you use is just as important as the book you choose. If you only translate word by word into your native language, you will quickly become tired and frustrated. Instead, try the smart reading approach. Choose a book at the right level. If you can understand about 70% of the words without a dictionary, then that book is perfect. Read regularly, even if it's just 10 minutes a day. Consistency is more effective than intensity. 10 minutes every day is better than 2 hours once a week. Read actively. Highlight interesting expressions. Write down sentences you like. Then try to use those expressions in your conversations or writing. For example, if you read the phrase, "a piece of cake," meaning something very easy, try to use it in your next conversation. Mix your reading sources as well. Enjoy novels, but also read short articles, news reports, or blog posts. Each style exposes you to different types of English. Now let's move to movies. Movies are an amazing resource because they combine listening and visual context. When you hear characters speaking English while watching their actions and emotions, your brain connects the sound of the language with real situations. Listening comprehension is often the biggest challenge. Many learners say, "I can read and write, but I can't understand when people speak quickly." Movies are the solution because they train your ear to recognize natural speed, intonation, and pronunciation. But to benefit fully, you must watch movies in a smart way. Don't just watch passively, watch with purpose. Choose movies or series you enjoy. If you love comedy or romance, start there. If you dislike science fiction, don't force it. Motivation matters. Use subtitles wisely. At the beginning, watch with English subtitles to connect spoken words with their written form. Avoid subtitles in your native language as they will distract you from listening. Repeat scenes when necessary. If a part is interesting or difficult, go back and listen again. Use shadowing. Play a short line, pause, and repeat it out loud, copying the actor's tone and rhythm. This is one of the fastest ways to improve pronunciation and fluency. Also, take notes of useful expressions. Movies are full of natural, everyday English. Phrases like, "Are you kidding me?" or "That makes sense," are easy to remember and very useful. Finally, balance your time. You don't need to watch a full 2-hour movie every day. Even 15 minutes of focused watching can make a real difference. However, many learners read books and watch movies but don't see real improvement because of common mistakes. One mistake is being passive. Some read without noticing new vocabulary. Others watch movies only for entertainment. If you are not paying attention, you won't learn much. Another mistake is trying to understand everything. You don't need to know every single word. Focus on the main idea. With time, your brain will fill in the details. A third mistake is overloading yourself. Reading for hours or watching until late can lead to burnout. Learning English is like exercise. Small, consistent steps are better than a marathon once a week. Another mistake is not reviewing. If you never revisit new phrases, you will forget them. Keep a notebook or a digital note app and review regularly. Finally, many learners choose the wrong material. Beginners often start with books or movies that are too difficult, leading to frustration. Always start slightly above your level. So what is the best way to combine reading and movies in your daily life? Here's a simple routine. Read for 10 minutes in the morning. Pick a novel, an article, or a short story. Highlight 1 or 2 new phrases and try to use them later in your day. Watch 10 to 15 minutes of an English movie or series in the evening. Focus on listening carefully. Write down 1 or 2 useful expressions. At the end of the week, review everything you wrote down. Make sentences with those expressions and try to use them in conversation or writing. This plan doesn't take more than 30 minutes a day, but if you follow it consistently, after 3 to 6 months, you will see a big improvement in your vocabulary, listening, and speaking. Remember, learning English is not about perfection. It's about progress. Every page you read, every scene you watch, every word you practice brings you one step closer to fluency. And with that, we come to the end of today's episode here on Somgalaxy podcast. My name is Abdisalam, and I hope these tips help you on your English learning journey. Thank you for listening, and don't forget to follow Somgalaxy for more episodes